In this video, we will discuss the actual gear that we'll need for climbing. Every team will have a handful of shoulder slings, just your standard shoulder slings. I like to bring along just a couple sport climbing quick draws as well for the times where I may not need to extend out a full length like I could for the other slings. Typically when deciding how many draws to take on a route with me, I would lean heavier in the shoulder length slings, maybe a total of 20 slings or quick draws, a combination thereof. I'd probably take about 12 of the shoulder length slings and slightly fewer of the standard sport climbing draws. These are more useful, more versatile than just a regular sport draw. You can loop them around horns, you can loop them around flakes, you can make them medium length, you can make them shorter. So lots of options with the sling. With the quick draw, you're just left to a fixed length. Similar to gear selection, the amount of slings or gear that you bring is gonna usually be determined by the route that you have chosen, as well as your own personal climbing abilities. Next, you're gonna need a rack of cams. So usually a double set of cams from our smallest finger-sized pieces. Here we have the Aliens at climbingtechtips.com. We prefer the Aliens for our small pieces. They seem to fit best in the tiny cracks. They fit really well in the flares. And one thing that Alien has done that's really nice is the offset cam. This is a mandatory piece of equipment on any multi-day El Cap route. It fits great into the pen scars that have been left by previous parties, and they clean quite easily. The flexible stem is really nice for the awkward placements, whether it's horizontal or whether it's a vertical placement. And then the other set of standard equipment that we take is a set of stoppers, set of nuts. You know, we prefer, there's many different types of nuts as there is cams out on the market. We prefer the nuts that are offset. They have a tapered design, both on this axis as well as on the narrower axis here. They fit well into the pen scars just like the offset Aliens do. We also want to bring quite a few different sizes, from the tiniest offsets. This is a brass offset. The softer brass bites into the rock a little better, provides a little better purchase. So we'll bring, you know, a set or two of these small offsets and then a standard size set of nuts. And once again, that's going to be determined by the topo and the route that you've chosen. For hauling the haul bags, once we got to the anchor, we need some sort of hauling device. Here we have the Petzl Pro Traction. It has a ratchet built in there, so as we haul the bags up the cliff, it locks off, preventing them from going back down the cliff. We'll use the Pro Traction for our hauling demonstration. One thing that is nice about the Petzl Pro Traction is that you can open the plate here and load and unload the rope without actually unclipping it from the carabiner, so that is a really nice point with this hauler. Another device that helps for hauling is we have a swivel here. It's kind of a newer piece to the climbing equipment. Maybe they've been around 10 years or so, but it helps that when we tie our haul bags in, when they're spinning and we're hauling them up the wall, that they don't twist up the rope around itself. So this allows the bags to rotate freely on the haul line. We also have a top of a plastic bottle that has been cut and reinforced with duct tape. Very simple homemade device, but we thread our hauling line through here and it actually acts as a knot protector so that when we haul, it keeps the knot from wanting to get jammed up into cracks or under roofs, and it protects the knot from excessive abrasion as well. So these are kind of your main items for setting up your haul, along with your static rope or whatever type of line you've decided you were going to haul with. One other item, which is actually more than one item, is a grip of what the aid climber usually refers to as freebiners. So just carabiners that are not attached to anything. These will get used for all kinds of things. At the portal edge bivvy, they'll be used for clipping sleeping bags and food bags in. Basically, once you leave the ground on an aid climb, your job is to not drop anything. So anytime stuff can get clipped in, you'll use a freebiner. You'll notice on the shoulder slings that we've brought here that we don't have any carabiners on them. If we put 2 carabiners on every sling like we do for free climbing, we may end up with an excessive amount of beaners. What I like to do, and you'll see in our next video about racking, is I just put these slings over my shoulder, and then I clip the free beaners to my harness, and I just grab a beaner when I need it to put onto the sling. Cuts down on weight. Also with the free beaners, you'll notice that we've chosen to use wire gate carabiners for weight reduction. Usually aid climbs are so intense, gear intensive, that we have so much gear anywhere that we can cut weight along the way is really good. And with today's modern design of carabiners, there's no reason to have anything other than wire gate carabiners since they're so light. Also, you'll need a handful of locking carabiners. We have our cordelettes, as I discussed earlier, for our anchoring. They have locking carabiners, and here we have just a couple extra carabiners, but inevitably, it seems you can never have too many carabiners.